We're live.
It says you are.
It says we're live. Hey, YouTube. It's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and apparently we're live. Kurt will let me know as people start showing up. This is going to be egg cutting number 5, and this will be the last egg cutting for a little while. Not because we're going to stop doing these live, because it's been a really weird season. And so, we had egg. Then we've had this big dry spell. But we do have plenty of females about to pop. So you're going to see a little bit of a lull in these cutting videos, and you're going to have a whole bunch of them all at once. This will be our video for our normal Thursday drop as well. Basically, I'll just tell you what all's going on and why it's going to be that way. One, we've been traveling, which we got ahead to get caught up, and we planned to come film a few things tonight to get caught up, and then we had eggs pipping, which is cutting into our filming time, and we do have day jobs. Question Girl's actually healthy, but Key Grip Jen has managed to, she plays softball really hard. So, she goes really hard, and if she's watching this, I'll probably be in trouble. And so she's a little hobbled at the moment from, giving it her all. So Kurt's there's some taking care of them, and just as well some other family things we have to attend to that just come up in life. So this will also be Thursday's video. Then we will have a new video for Sunday. And pay attention to Sunday's video because I anticipate that being the clutch update for the last clutch of 2018 finally. And you're going to see why it took us so long to update it and what else going on with that. So really fun to show you that. All right, without further ado, we have anybody actually watching this thing?
Yeah, 82 people.
82. Whoa, that's not so bad. Let's get on the eggs. And if you notice the title says, Do They All Live? Well,
someone said you misspelled.
I misspelled something?
I don't know.
I do have fat fingers. What did I misspell? If I did, we'll fix it.
I don't know.
So that's not so hard. We can edit that when we're done. So, anyway, thanks for pointing that out. We'll make it right. Probably wrote, Do They All Live? Probably did that. So, let's take a peek. Now.
You mistyped the...
What I mistyped?
Do all the... You mistyped that.
Oh, do all the babies live? Okay, we'll fix that.
You did T-G-E instead of T-H-E.
Because I got these big-ass fat guy thumbs. Anyway, first thing I do want to point out before we even get to egg cutting is I'm still using my old scissors. And I know somebody out there is watching going, what the fuck, man? Here's the thing. We met the Grimes family, awesome people. Some of our Patreon members, we got to meet them when we were in D.C. And they were like, man, those scissors you got, it's time for an upgrade. And I'm always looking for my feed tongs. So gave Kurt, you have your feed tongs? Kurt's got his own pair of feed tongs now, and he doesn't ever want to get bit. So they gave him some awesome feed tongs that are long enough. They should protect him. Actually, I'll let you as long as I'll use the small ones. These are his. He's trying to show them. But they gave us a whole ton of these really cool hemostat tongs, and they gave me some new scissors. So we're like, awesome, we get to use our new scissors. We were really stoked. We go looking, can't find them. I'm like, man, no, they're here. So I asked Question Girl, and she actually had moved them, because this reptile stuff had needed to move, to the new house, but we have to cut now. So I am using my old scissors. But for the last time, you can say goodbye to these little snips, because the Grimes family hooked me up. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and lather myself up. Lather my tools up. And we are ready to perform minor egg surgery. Alright, what we know first of all, and this is a recreation of the Patreon clutch we attempted to do last year, which obviously did not take. It took this year, so it was a GHI to a normal. That would be the parents. And I'm pretty sure I can't show you the parents like I like to do because they are at the other house. By next year, you'll be able to see the parents every time, but this year, because of the transition, it's just a little bit difficult. So first and foremost, we'll work with what we know. That is, this guy is out and doing fine, and he is obviously, or she is, a GHI. We'll start with this one, which has been slicing that egg, so we'll just make it a little bit easier for it. You know, obviously that snake's been working hard. And I ain't managed to get it all the way open yet. And that one appears to be a normal, which, and there you can see it's doing good. This is the already empty egg, so we'll just throw that one away. And then we'll go to here. This one's also pipped. But again, it just didn't quite complete the cut.
So you checked these last night, and none of them were.
Actually, last night was a really late night. I had checked the night before, and none of them were pipped. And I didn't even see any beginning lines or striations, so I was kind of surprised to find. I wasn't going to be surprised if they pipped today because we're getting right there at the point. Tomorrow would have been the day I really would have expected. But they're normal, which is what we'd expect is about 50-50. So they were about a day earlier than I anticipated. Now these here you got to be a little careful with when their head's that far out because you don't want to hurt the baby, obviously. So what we're going to do is just to make sure he's not stuck, cut that really thin, and then we can just snap that shell. Woo! He's a lot happier. I was like, do me next, Dad, do me next. And you can see the odds are being great to us. Another normal. So we got 3 normals and 1 GHI. We're really hoping for... You get a little more room in there, don't you, buddy?
What's the pairing again?
GHI to a normal. Yeah, you're trying to suck back in there. You're just having a hard time. There's what I want. By lifting these scissors up, we can make sure and not clip him at all. But I think that is probably... Man, you've done a number on that little buddy. There you go. So now we've got him freed up. And another normal. So that should be all our normals. The rest of these should be all GHIs, right?
Yeah.
It never works that way. Well, there's a GHI. So now we're getting a little bit better. That's a really nice GHI too.
Every GHI is nice.
They are. I love GHI. I love the way it looks. Well, so much for finishing out all GHI. There is another normal. Boop, boop. And peeking in here, though, I think we're going to end up being... Well, we're not going to be like what I'd say would be great odds. I think we're going to be... It's assuming that all these are still kicking. And so far... Look at that one. Bam. So there's 3 GHIs. 1 more egg to cut. Now this one doesn't have any striations on it, so this is where the title came from of, did they all make it? Because with all the rest of these pipped, I would expect to see signs of this one pipping, and I just don't. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but the shell feels good. And it is a GHI. Moment of truth. Oh, there it is moving. So, you can see that really well. So they did all definitely survive. So that's good. And so far, for our first 5 clutches of the year, this will bring us to, assuming they all crawl out alive, which at this point would be no reason why anyone wouldn't. Let me make sure I'm going to actually open this up a little bit more. This is that one that was kind of head stuck. I just want to make sure all that is cut around. Yeah, that way he has a place to go and won't choke himself. So we end up with, we have 9 eggs. So what you would expect to have is somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 or 5 GHIs and 4 or 5 normals to be right on spot with the odds. 1 GHI, 2 GHI, 3 GHI, 4 GHI, 5 normals. So we hit the odds right kind of where we should have. Of course, you'd rather be 5-4 the other way. You'd rather be 9-0 the other way. But the big thing is everything's alive and healthy. And if this guy is anything to be judged about, they're all going to come out good size. To give you an idea of kind of what babies we produce, I am going to brag about this a little bit. And I have no idea what his weight's going to be. I don't think he's huge. But he's sitting there at 68 grams, which is, I would say, right about what we normally do. I mean, I've hatched babies over 80 before. I've also hatched them at 28, so I'm not saying that they'll come out that way. But with 5 clutches in, and I think over 40 babies in those 5 clutches, I believe, we are at currently for this year so far 100% hatch rate. Now, if you followed me for quite a while, you know the last 2 years we've been at a 95% hatch rate. Most people would say 95 is damn good, and they're going to sell on that and take it. I'm not. My goal is 100% or bust. And if we ever get to where we're doing it consistently 100%, we're going to continue to try to like make sure they're coming out healthier. So, will we ever be all the time 100%? Of course not. Some things are out of our control. But we want to control as many variables as we can to get this as good as we can. You know, there are certain things that don't matter. There are certain things that I do that people will tell you will kill all your ball pythons. For once, this Paralite that I use, it's Miracle Grow. I'm at 100% hatch rate on Miracle Grow, and I've read some people say, "Oh, Miracle Grow, you can't use it, blah 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 blah." Yeah, you can. Now, I'm not going to tell you you can put your eggs directly in it, because I don't know. I've never tried that. Don't plan on trying it. Because if I put eggs directly in anything, I kill them. If I lift them up, I can have the moisture the way I want. Does great. I have people say, "Oh, you got to have Saran wrap over the top, or you're going to kill your babies." No, you don't. Not my way of incubating things, because I never have, don't need it, and we hatch 95 to 100%. And we did make some tweaks, try to get that 95 closer to 100. Saran wrap wasn't one of the tweaks. That wasn't one of the problems we've had. So, just a few things. There's more than one way to do things, and we constantly are working to improve. Now, this is kind of spurred on by an exchange I had with somebody that really made me think. And it wasn't because they said something that was really intelligent. They're actually kind of an idiot. But sometimes idiots will make you think too. And it was, I'm trying to craft my response that made me think, because I actually crafted a fairly nice one for once till the very end. And what the comment was basically referencing was, it wasn't in the way we incubate, it was some of the ways we do some other things that actually work really, really well. And they're like, "Oh, that's not going to work, and this is horrible advice, and you know, you're going to do all this, and you're going to cause everybody's ball pythons to die, and you're going to blah, 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 and I read this article from so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so who've been doing this for 30 years, and they don't do it that way, so by God, it's got to be wrong." And I kind of chuckled, because there's not one way. And, you know, I look at cars, you know. I've been driving a long time, since I was about 14. Say that, yeah. And God, I'm glad we didn't go, "Damn, Chevy made a great car in 1985, and by God, they make such a great car, we should never improve upon the car, it's awesome." Because they fucking sucked. So my point, I guess, I'm making is we should always be forward thinking. We should always be challenging ourselves. And we should always be learning from each other to improve our hobby and the way we do things. And whether that's challenging the thought process on how we incubate, how we run our thermostats, how we keep our humidity, even how we keep our tubs. You know, people keep talking about putting stuff in tubs, and you know, I don't do that unless it's needed. And I personally, right now, feel like, I don't think that's needed. If things continue to go that way, and people are doing it not just because it's a popular thing to do, because I don't really give a rat's ass what's popular. If they're doing it because it's showing an increase in, say, breeding success and like the long-term health of the animal, in other words, a longevity, I'm looking for in longevity, how long do they live? How long are they able to produce healthy clutches for, et cetera, et cetera? You know, weights. If it starts to show an improvement in all those things, guess what I'm going to do? Be like, that's a good idea. I'm going to steal it. I'm going to do it myself. We should always, as a hobby, be moving in a direction to challenge ourselves and challenge one another to improve on what we do in a respectful manner. You can't come to people and be an asshole and expect to get anything done, because it's just not going to happen, guys. So, all right, with that said, we showed those babies, 4 GHIs, 5 normals, all healthy, all weighing in, probably around 65 to 70 grams, like we would expect. Perfect. Anything coming in those comments we need to address? It's like when he does.
Have you seen any... people said that pewter and Mojave and GHI are a really good combo.
Pewter, Mojave, and GHI?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it personally, but I would see why it would be. You're looking at Mojave GHIs, which you know I absolutely adore. We hit 3 of those earlier.
Oh, Rockwell just did a super chat. It said such cute snakes for $5.
Thank you, Rockwell. I appreciate that. We do appreciate your super chats. They certainly help keep things going, especially at times like this when YouTube is, kicking us in the balls, which they have been lately. But I'm used to that. So thank you.
What is the next expected clutch?
Oh man, it's kind of a race. I really couldn't tell you for sure what it's going to be. I think the next 2 I expect, it's kind of any day, would be from the Calitz female, which is a Calico Blitz bred to the Black Pastel Banana. Really, really excited about that. We also are expecting any time their last normal, also bred to the Black Pastel Banana. So be prepared for some Black Pastel Banana stuff to be showing up. Those are both coming. My Pied is nesting. My Lesser Pastel is nesting. My Black Pastel is confusing the shit out of me. Let's see, Celine, so more bells, is looking good. Pandora is starting to nest, just beginning. She'll be after those other ones. We have a clown female, or het clown female, supposed het clown female. We haven't proven it ourselves yet. We just bought it as a het clown. That is nesting. Another one that literally just ovulated, so we should be having eggs clear into August. And so those are some of the things I'm very, very near. I do expect, Juno, my champagne, she's nesting now. Well, she was a minute ago, but now she's out. But you can see her. Be a nice girly girl. I expect her to go. You can just kind of see it in there, how thick she looks. Lumpy. I don't want to piss you off too much, baby. And so I'm really expecting that. And really excited about that because that's going to be with the Lemon Blast Scaleless head. So really cool. Killer Bees Lemon Blast Scaleless head. So there's a few things I'm expecting to happen. Pandora, of course, is a zebra bee, so that'll be really exciting. So, yeah, we've got a lot still coming. I don't know how many we're going to have this year. I don't know if we'll be a big increase over last year or not. We'll have to see. We used a lot of new males and several new females. So, we have several females that have gone 4 straight years now, too. And sometimes at a point, they're going to take a year off, which is okay, because they'll be back. Anything else, Kurt, we want to address?
Any tips on how to tell when your female ball python is ready to pair?
Yeah, watch your male. So if you've got males in the same area, I usually start pairing in Kansas about Halloween. So the very first of November, end of October. Some of my females I'll wait a little longer on, like that one that just ovulated. She ain't going to be ready come the end of October. I probably won't start pairing her again until, say, December when her weight's back good. But my males typically tell me, because they'll start acting different. They will react. When I touch their sides, they'll push against me. And when I start seeing a male doing that, any of my males, it tells me that somebody in the room is putting off pheromones. When those pheromones are kicking, I start breeding a lot of times. So you're going to really, and your males will kind of not be as interested in food. Or right now is kind of the time. I still got pheromones kicking, obviously, for having ovulations. We're still getting some locks. We're getting some of our males to go back on food, and it's kind of that time of year now. So you really just got to watch and read. But my males tell me more about that than my females. Yes, you can go out and you can buy an ultrasound machine, and you can sit there and play doctor and scan everything. But the fact is, these things are going to hold the sperm until they want to use it. So it's not like humans. If I'm going to go knock a lady up, for lack of a better term, I've got this window of time to do that in that cycle of a human, right? These guys don't work that way. We've had a female snake get pregnant from a breeding a year previous, and that's not uncommon. Now you can start getting to where they parthenogenesis and they just do it themselves. It's a whole other thing. So it's not so much about catching it at a right time in that follicle growth. We always think of that because we're human beings, and we got to catch our females at the right time in there. Kurt would know more about that than I do. He's got kids I don't. Or maybe I know more about it than he does and I avoided it. One of the two, depending on how you look at it. Anyway, snakes is more when they're going to breed.
Justin Packer gave us a super chat for $3. Said, "You guys rock. Keep it up."
Appreciate that, Justin, and we do appreciate the super chats. So anything else we need to address, Kurt?
Someone asked if you answer questions on Facebook.
Not too often. Here's the thing, and I'm going to say this, and it kind of makes me sound like a dick, and I don't mean for it to. But so much stuff comes in on Facebook, and I just can't keep up with it. So you got to remember, too, guys, man, I work about a 45-hour week. on other stuff, and I have to come do all this. I have to help run the retail shop that I kind of suck at helping, and then I'm in the middle of prepping the reptile house and doing all that. So I don't have a lot of time, and with the time I do have to answer questions and things like that, I've dedicated to Patreon more than anything. So I don't have time to necessarily get to all the Facebook questions. Now, I do happen to see one. Will I respond to it? Yeah, but I don't see most of them. And again, I'm not trying to be mean or not trying to be rude. It's just, if you saw my inbox, it's this big scary beast, and at some point you just go, ugh, I don't want to even, like, I'd have to dedicate literally hours to sit down and go through all that. I just don't have it right now.
Caleb, with the $5 super chat, asked, have you ever had a case of retained sperm? If so, how long was the time period?
Yes, Caleb, I have. That's a great question. And first, thank you for the super chat. And when you watch Sunday, we're going to be updating a clutch that was laid from retained sperm. And what it was is it was a previous season, and I think I tried to rack my brain to remember it because it was a lack of my records. I know the male because I know the offspring, and I was only using one male that year that could possibly produce that offspring. So the male had to be the lesser pastel. And it must have bred our pinstripe. We were trying to get our banana to breed our pinstripe. I think we put him in there once before we really decided what we were going to do. We decided to go to banana. We hadn't seen the lock. We didn't think much of it. And we bred our pinstripe. And that year we got bananas. Banana pins. They were awesome. The next year, I stuck banana to pin. Banana to pin, banana to pin, banana to pin. This would have been last year. So for an entire season of banana to pin, eggs got laid. We're like, hell yeah. Cut them. I'm seeing lemon blast and lesser pastels and pinstripes. And I'm like, what the hell? And so we did have retained sperm from the previous year using that lesser pastel. I can't give you the exact time, but it's probably, somewhere between 10 and 14 months in between breeding seasons when that happened. So she did retain. And the funny thing is, she was bred by two males, had eggs from one male, and next year bred that same male, and then had eggs from the retained sperm male. So really kind of odd. Actually, that year we used two separate bananas, which calls into question my male banana, to be quite honest, because the other one was one that we borrowed. But my black pastel banana has fathered clutches now, so we're good there. All right, anything else?
Rockwell sent another $10 super chat.
Rockwell, buddy, you're the man. I really appreciate that. It does help a lot, believe it or not. YouTube is the one thing for all the work we do, whether it's selling, whether it's through what we do through Patreon, whenever we go to the show, whatever we're doing. The one thing that actually goes to us is YouTube. So we don't keep a lot of money from this as an adventure every month, because it's not about that. It's about building this collection and building towards our long-term dream, and it takes investment to do that. So we invest 99% of everything back in. So that does mean a lot to us, and it does really help us. Anything else, Kurt?
No.
All right, guys, we're going to hop off of here and slide over to Patreon and do our live there, and then get to filming so you can see Clutch Update for the last one for 2018 on Sunday. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.